Hello and welcome to the Come Alive podcast. I'm your host, Mirchandani. I'm a mother with a story, a business leader with a vision, and an author whose work focuses on transforming lives and relationships through a better understanding of self-love. Today's episode is titled Fear of Failure. So let me ask you, have you ever felt the fear of failure? Failing is an essential activity in our life, and it is always unpleasant to experience. It comes with a lot of negative feelings like a loss of self-esteem and confidence or a desire to quit. We become critical of ourselves, generating harsh self-judgment and feeling like a victim as we slip into a denial state, convincing ourselves that it is not our fault. The perspective I would like you to consider today is that each failure allows us to learn and become better. Very few are actually successful at anything on the first attempt. Everyone is learning every day. Everyone is experiencing and getting better with every step they take. Failure depends on how we view our life in the context of outcomes we get from the failing activities themselves. What we need to learn is to embrace failure because it precedes success. To expand further, many of us live with the fear of failure because of our subconscious programming, which is built during our early development years. Dr. Bruce Lipton, an American development biologist, mentioned that 80% of the audience that attend his events do not test positive on "I love myself" because of all the critical assessment they receive as children. Though our parents correct and assess us to help us improve, it can create inadequacy in us and an inner voice that says, "I am not good enough." This is related to the creation of the fear of failure program. So as adults, we react and behave based on our fundamental programming of not loving ourselves and the feeling of failure. We fear failure so much at times that we give up before even giving it our best shot. However, we need to know that it is a belief that can be addressed and reversed if we all put sincere and consistent effort towards it. We are not born with the fear of failure, hence it doesn't belong to us. We pick it up during our childhood, and being aware that one has a fear of failure is very important for our evolution, as awareness is the first step to overcoming any fear. As an entrepreneur, I have done multiple things, from starting a fashion brand right after university to establishing the Manrre Logistics Fund in 2018. My learning from failure started when I was 23 years old. And to be honest, something that I have shared in my book, Come Alive, is that I got married too young, and being ambitious did not work in my favor. So it was extremely challenging for me to start my fashion business and manage the responsibilities of a wife. I challenged myself to do justice to both. I got super structured and efficient, where I worked 3 days a week, and the other 4 days I was at home and taking care of the household. I was so afraid of failing to become a well-known designer in the world that I didn't enjoy the journey I was on. I was so driven by the outcome of success in a certain way that I was unable to enjoy the beauty of the work behind the scenes. The fear prevented me from trusting and enjoying the process. So how can you overcome fear? Let me share 4 strategies that helped me reprogram this belief. 1. Making yourself a priority. This is the most important thing. You need to believe in yourselves. You can only believe in yourselves when you know yourselves and who you are. For that, you need to spend time with yourself. We need to spend time with ourselves to accept, understand, and know ourselves. You can spend time with yourself by doing various things like meditation, journaling, exercise, reading, and learning. All this will help you connect to and know yourself better. Once you connect to your inner self, most of the fears will disappear. We have to be in love with ourselves to gain authentic power to overcome any fears. 2. Train yourself to learn from every setback or failure. So I don't think we fail permanently, we only fail temporarily, and learn from it. For me, when the outcome is not as per my expectations, I make a list of all the things I have learned in the particular challenging situation and how it helped me to become a better version of myself. We are here to become what we are meant to be, and hence we need to keep training our mind, body, and soul. We can do so by reading books, learning different things, taking up educational courses. 3. Recognize your blind spots. In some situations, we may need to seek external help, and we must not shy away from this. Coaches and mentors are an integral part of success and greatly help to put a different perspective on the table. I have been lucky to have mentors and coaches to help me overcome a situation that I could not fully understand and overcome myself. I'm super proud of this. 4. Trust and enjoy the process regardless of the outcome. When you love the process and who you are becoming in this process, then your experience will be the reward rather than the destination. You will no longer fear failure because success is the journey in itself. To sum it up, dare to be great. Train and prepare yourself for the journey of greatness. Practice self-love and try to pursue a holistic growth. Failure is a belief and a perception, and it can be managed. Our life is our own perception. We are limitless and powerful beyond what we can imagine. Don't let your mind hold you back from your greatness. Embrace yourself, your journey, and give it all that you can. Let me close with this quote by Mel Robbins. Failure doesn't make you give up. It happens when you give up. If you're still trying, you haven't failed. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Come Alive podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcast. Hit the follow button on Spotify and share the podcast with anyone who needs to hear it. If you are watching the visual podcast on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe and the notification bell, as well as leave us a like and a comment. I look forward to us talking again on the next episode. Thank you and lots of love.